Good morning, everybody. I'm Jean Ketchum, aging but dangerous, and I am very, very excited today to have our guest with us. This is going to be a very fun, interesting, uplifting conversation this morning. Her name is Teresa Thomas, and Teresa, welcome to the show.
I'm excited to be on your show, Jean. I remember being on your radio show and you had it years ago.
I
Love to be back.
know, and you were so much fun then. You'll be more fun today. But anyway, Teresa, I want you to give everybody listening or watching a little background because you have written a fabulous little book. You are doing workshops. There it is, 50 fun things. And you're doing all kinds of things. And I want them to have kind of a little bit of a background of how you started this, what's going on, and then we'll talk about your philosophy and your views in your book, which I love. You have so many things that we can talk about. It's going to be hard. But anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, who I am is I'm somebody who connects people together to help each other on their goals and have the lives they want. And I've been doing that primarily through networking for a long, long time. I've been a connector for about 25 years, actually a little longer. And the way that 50 Fun Things came into my life was I was finding a lot of purpose in connecting people with each other. But I guess I kind of hit a little bit of a midlife crisis. And I was about to turn 50 a couple years ago. And I was really looking at um, in my life and was I being intentional with where I wanted it to go. And I had made some decisions for myself post divorce about how I was going to speak up for myself and find my voice and be more assertive and really live my life the way I wanted to. And as I was approaching 50, I discovered that I was not focused on me as much as I needed to be. And so I purely for myself, I put together a list of 50 fun things I wanted to experience in that coming year and asked my friends and connections to let me know what things they'd want to do with me. And all of a sudden, my life opened up. I felt more hopeful. I'm excited about what was going to come. I was bringing people together in a way that also served me. And it really turned things around for me personally. What I found was that that I barely knew were following me and online and asking me when I was going to do my next thing because they were inspired. So I started doing a 50 Fun Things workshop and presentation. And then most recently, I took 50 little quick pick-me-up tips that I use personally, just little simple things to add joy and hope to my life. And with 50 ideas, action steps, and reflections for people to use to lift up their own lives.
And it's just so fabulous, fabulous, Teresa. I mean, I love that little book. I was just looking through it again this morning, and um, so I took one of your workshops, and
Yeah.
it was, here I am, I keep telling the whole world, here I am, 80 years old, and I'm like, okay, what do I have 50 things left I want to do? And I'm like, yes, of course. And my dad died at 105, and I think he had 50 things he wanted to do still. So anyway, so it's, as we always say, Teresa, it's never too late, never too late. But
Oh
anyway,
no, yeah.
it's just such a great idea. I took the workshop, I loved it. And do you have another workshop coming up?
Yeah, actually, I have them all the time. I have one this Saturday, which is a little bit more focused on our connections in our lives. Same workshop, but every workshop I have people think about how they connect what they want in their life to their connections. And this one's a little bit more deliberate on the connection part because of Valentine's Day and thinking about, the people that are most special to us and how we invite
Oh,
them in.
okay, that's great. Well, just to give people an idea of some of the things that are in the book, one of the first things that you talk about is accept cool
Oh,
invitations.
yeah.
And I love that, Teresa, because I always say when somebody invites you to something, there's a reason, and you always should go. And every time you go, you do make some kind of connection or something happens there that you think, oh, yeah, that's why I'm here. So I
Yeah.
loved that one.
Oh yeah, and that one has really opened up my life. I think that's one of my very favorites in the book. because I look back at the old me, and there are plenty of cool invitations that I had received in the past that I probably didn't even pay attention to. Like, oh, I don't really like getting up early on a Saturday morning, or oh, I dismiss these things. But now that I've set that as an intention to accept cool invitations, all of a sudden I'm doing all kinds of interesting things that I wouldn't have even have noticed or paid attention to before, and it's just opening up life in all kinds of great ways.
I know. I just, it's just so exciting. When did this? I'm trying to figure out because I know you and I know each other, but we're new friends, and you new to ABD. Except, like you said, 4 years ago, you were on a radio show, and that was because of your networking.
Yeah.
But how long? What kind of time limit has this been with you? Say you got divorced and then you started this. What's the time limit here?
Yeah, so I think I've got the number right. I think I've been divorced 7 years. I guess that's a good thing. I can't remember exactly how long, but about 7 years. And then it was 2.5 years ago that I was turning 50 and then kind of re-examining my life and all that. And then it was just a few months after turning 50, it was that January, so 2 years ago, January, where I did the very first workshop open to others, and that's when it started taking off and getting this momentum and seeing how it was affecting people in so many more ways than I could have imagined, personally, professionally, in all different types of transitions in their life, some celebratory, some huge, crisis points, just this whole range of people finding that they need something to focus on that feels joyful and hopeful, and
But Teresa, we talked before yesterday, and I said, what I love about it, and what I love about you, is that it's not like a real heavy thing. It's like I get tired of all the heaviness of preaching, women kind of preaching to the others. As I said, do you like find your joy or find your inner child or do all this stuff.
Yeah,
your approach is so, and yes, joy is a part of it. I don't mean to put that down, but yours is so much more down to earth. It's just so much more, I think, real. It's very real things, and I don't think a lot of these self-help books get into this frou-frou stuff and this pie in the sky stuff that just really bothers me. And I maybe it's my age, but I don't know. But like one of your chapters is childlike wonder. I have to tell you, my dad, as I said a while ago, passed away at 105. He was very healthy. He just loved life and skydived with me, of course, when he was 91. But he had that childlike joy, Teresa. He would come to visit, and he would go into Target or one of the big box stores or something, and I would lose him because he was like a little kid and just looking at everything and had such joy in life, appreciated just the little ants that were building a little colony or something.
Yeah.
And so when I read that, I thought, I really honestly believe that's why he lived so long. He was a very quiet man. He didn't express a lot, but he found such joy and wonder in life. And when I read that, I just got chills because I thought that was my dad.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and some of these things don't come naturally to us because we get in our routines, we're go, 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 and then it's just taking a pause and just kind of noticing things in a different way. Mm-hmm. And can I be present to this moment and really enjoy what it's giving me versus being on to the next thing? Right.
And then I love also about the book is that you can just carry it around with you and you can just open it up. I have another book like that I won't go into detail with because it's kind of a spiritual book, but where I can just open it up at any page and it just talks to me. And that's what I did this morning with your little book. It was just like I just would open it up to a page and it was like, oh yeah, that's great. And like you say, it's just little reminders, but they are so real. They're not, they're not fluff. They're so real. And I think as we are aging, we need all that real stuff. And like you said, really reminders.
Yeah, just reminders are easy.
Yeah. Another thing is accept compliments. I
Yeah.
mean, do you ever give somebody a compliment and then they go into like, oh, I did, this isn't, my hair really, well, thank you, but my hair doesn't really look that good. And blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's like, come on, I just interrupt them and just say thank you.
Good.
I mean, I just don't put up with it. So, I mean, that was good. So many good things in this. Now, you have a book signing coming up, don't you?
I do. It's Thursday, February 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. And there'll be tea and treats and fun conversation starters because we all know how awkward it can be to walk into a room and not know many people. And so got some joyful conversation starters. And yeah, it'll be a great time. It's really close to the Mall of America at a place called Imagine IT. And the event calendar is on the 50funthings.com website, so people can go there to
and it's very reasonable. I mean, and you get a book.
And you get a book. Yep, it's $20. It includes a book, the tea, the treats, the conversation starters. We'll have a little from 5 to 6. We'll have a little dance corner that people can try out. Joyful movement, which is one of the things in the book, and we're gonna have a good time.
That is just so great. And where can they find this? Well, we'll have it on our website too, but then that they can find it. We'll have access to them. And then, what is your website?
It's just the number 50 and then funthings.com. So 50funthings.com, and then there is an event calendar on there, and it has the workshops, and it has the trips that are coming up, and then the book launch on February 20th.
Okay.
Which you'll be at. Yay!
I will be there. Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. And those are the things that, I think some people kind of push themselves, to get involved with something like that, but it's just you feel so good afterwards.
This could count as accept cool invitation. This is your cool invitation.
This is your cool invitation. Yeah, really cool. Well, that is just so exciting. So is there anything else you'd like to tell us about you and the book?
I would just like to say that I am just so enjoying getting to know you and the women that come to Aging But Dangerous. We're very much in alignment about fully living our lives. So I'm just really appreciative of this connection, and so I just want to say thank you. I'm giving you a compliment. One of the things
thank you. Well, we feel the same way. You're such an asset to us, and I think it's interesting how we're all, I refuse to let my 80-year-old self, think that's too old, because it isn't. Because look, here you are, 50 years old. I mean, we're on the same page. We have the same views. We have the, work this. I mean, it's just like we're all so much on the same page. And that's what I love about Aging But Dangerous, is that we're meeting. Oh my gosh, Teresa, it's just so much fun to meet exciting young women like you. And I just love what you're doing. And like I say, the biggest eye-opener to me was when I said to you after that workshop, at my age, I don't think I can find 50 things. And then I just stopped. I went back to my table. I sat down. I started writing things down, and then I worked on it when I got home, and I thought, gosh darn it, yes. I can come up with, and you know what, Teresa, what's great is it doesn't have to be big things.
Exactly. And I think that's what originally gets people hung up, is we get told in life, think of your top 3 goals. What is the one thing you want to accomplish? And when we think like that, it actually limits us, and it puts a lot of pressure. But when you say, well, what are 50 things? Then it doesn't have to be so huge and significant. It could be like, oh, I'll try that. I'll do that. Why not?
Yeah.
And it just becomes more open and playful. And it could end up being 40 things. It could end up being 90 things. It doesn't. That number isn't really the idea. It's just the idea of opening up your mind to think in new ways, and kind of just have some fun with our lives. I mean, this is
just have some fun.
Exactly.
That's the motto. Well, and it's just like me, it's like trying a new recipe. That's so simple, but it's just so, I really get into that. And I want to try that recipe. I love that. And then that leads to something else. And then that leads to, so it really, you just have to kind of think about it and But I thought that was interesting. I really wanted to share that because yep, never too late, never too late. And we do want to bring joy into our lives.
Yeah, and being intentional, break out of some of our patterns that may or may not be serving us. And
right. Well, Teresa, thank you so much. It's so much fun to talk to you. I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah, thank you, Jean.
Yeah, so I will see you at your book launch.
I'll see you on February 20th.
Okay, 50 fun things. Can you show the book again? There you go. Oh, yeah. Enjoy this.
Isn't it cute? Look at how big it is. So
cute. I know. That's what I mean. You carry it in your purse, and if you get in a bad spot during the day, just whip that little book out and open it up, and it'll be the right thing you should hear.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
All right, Teresa. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.